Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Paul Sandoval, and we'd like to thank you for attending the Ames Fire Department recognition ceremony. At this time, I would invite you to rise, if you're able to do so, for the presentation of the colors and the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes in bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, arms. Face. Forward, march. Left. On guard. Call. Call out.
Please be seated. I'd like to thank the Ames Fire Department Honor Guard, as well as Ann Whitaker, for singing the national anthem. Really appreciate that. At this time, I'd like to introduce the following people, many of which will be assisting us today. Mayor Ann Campbell, City Manager Steve Shanker. I don't see him here, but Assistant City Manager Bob Kindred, Fire Chief Sean Bayouth, Deputy Fire Chief Richard Higgins, and Training Officer Josh Bennett. At this time, I'd like to invite City Manager Steve Shanker to the podium for opening remarks.
Thanks, Paul. I'd like to welcome all of you today to the Ames Fire Department's 2017 recognition ceremony. Some of you may know, but each year we have an all-employee awards dinner or lunch in March. But I think it's very important that the fire department deserves a separate and special event like this one. I want to thank Fire Chief Bayouth for establishing this event and make it an annual ceremony. Today we're able to recognize 3 of our newest firefighters who I've been told, I think it's true, completed their academy training and are ready to be sworn in. Is that correct? And also one of our newest members of the department, our new fire inspector. In addition, I know we're going to honor 11 firefighters for their roles in 3 separate cardiac arrest saves and 5 firefighters who participated in childbirth. And I want to congratulate all 20 honorees who are being recognized today. But you know, this event also gives me an opportunity to recognize all of the members of the Ames Fire Department. As many of you know, at least the ones working with the City of Ames, we are committed to the values reflected in our Excellence Through People initiative. And our goal in ETP is to provide exceptional customer service at the best price to our citizens. And each year we gauge success by sending out a statistically valid survey to our citizens. And I'm happy to report that this year, 98% of the respondents indicated they were somewhat to very satisfied with the services being provided by the Ames Fire Department. And I want to assure you that these lofty responses are not being registered in all cities throughout the United States. Many of these surveys, unfortunately, are seen as an opportunity to chastise local government. Therefore, I think each member of the Ames Fire Department, all the people standing behind me and in front of me, deserve special recognition and can take pride in the results of this survey. So I want to congratulate all the people who will be honored individually, as well as the members of the Ames Fire Department. Can we give them a round of applause for the work they've done for us? Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. At this time, would invite Training Officer Bennett to come up and say a few words about the Recruit Academy.
Good afternoon. This is the same speech as last year. I'm just changing the names. So, no, not really. You deserve your own speech. You worked very hard this year. Thank you. Those of you who were here last year may remember me starting off this speech talking about how stressful a 9-week fire academy was, and how that recruit class pointed out the fact that I stopped smiling about halfway through. Well, 11 weeks ago, we started another fire academy. During that 11 weeks, we took them through a journey that included 5 college-level classes. They worked 8-hour days in the classroom and the drill ground, with homework and assigned reading almost every night that I choose to believe they did. Ha ha ha. Yeah. This year was a little different, as each recruit had a family to maintain at home. To the families of these recruits, I thank you for your support of them. And while I recognize this probably meant extra work and lonely nights for you while they studied and prepared for the next day, I don't apologize, because they are about to start a very dangerous job that, with the help of their new crew, they are prepared to handle. When we make a commitment to prepare them for the job and to keep them safe, we make that same commitment to you. To the crew of Truck 3, A, B, and C shift, I am now passing these 3 on to you. Their success is their responsibility, but the supporting role is yours. I have pushed them to the limit, and we have seen them at their worst, hopefully so that you don't have to. But as they learn this job, I am confident that they will give you their best. They gave me their best every day for 3 months. Recruits, as if you weren't sick of them already, now is when we put you to the real test. The opportunity to serve is both a privilege and a reward. How you handle that privilege will determine your worth to the residents and visitors of Ames. C.S. Lewis was most widely known for his series of novels, The Chronicles of Narnia. He also wrote quite extensively as a theologian and helps us to understand the significance of how we choose to spend our career as a firefighter. In his book, The Weight of Glory, he writes, "It would seem that our Lord finds our desires not too strong, but too weak. We are half-hearted creatures, fooling about with drink and sex and ambition when infinite joy is offered us. Like an ignorant child who wants to go on making mud pies in a slum because he cannot imagine what is meant by the offer of a holiday at the sea. We are far too easily pleased." The way he describes his faith should resonate with you as you begin to have choices in your career as a firefighter. You have 2 choices. You can be a half-hearted firefighter, fooling about with your spare time, or late at night, when no one would blame you otherwise, you will grab your gear, head to the truck bay, and dig into a weakness. Jerome, Lindsay, Ashley, earn your retirement, because your burden is now knowing that the citizens will pay for it either way. Thank you.
Thank you, Training Officer Bennett. At this time, I'd like to invite Chief Bayouth to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. What a wonderful showing. This is fantastic. Each award ceremony that we do, we seem to get bigger and bigger, which is a great problem to have. So I look forward to this every single year. On behalf of the Ames Fire Department and the City of Ames, it's my privilege as the Fire Chief to welcome everyone here to our fourth annual recognition ceremony. So we appreciate, of course, Mayor Campbell being here, City Manager Steve Shanker, Assistant City Manager Bob Kindred, he's out in the hallway there, all the fire officers and firefighters that are behind me, the friends, the family members. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy lives to share just a few moments here in recognition and in congratulations for our honored guests here today. So it's so encouraging really to see all the support from the firefighters' families and friends, from city administration, from on and off-duty firefighters. There's off-duty firefighters here in the audience as well. But we're really here to recognize, of course, our three newest firefighter recruits, as well as the appointment of new fire inspector. But maybe we can begin by asking the three recruits to step up here in a line so that we can recognize you officially. So we have Lindsay Ball, Jerome Ward, Ashley Culp. We will eventually have the fire inspector as well here to do, Jason Zip. He spells it Z-I-P-H too, by the way. So if you haven't figured it out already, the way to get on our department or to get appointed is to make sure you have only 4 letters in your last name. I think that's an awfully strange coincidence, but so we have, again, Lindsay Ball, Jerome Ward, and Ashley Culp. It's such an honor that you've selected the City of Ames, this community, and especially our organization for your career in the fire service. We all know you could have chosen many different places throughout the state of Iowa to begin your career, but you happen to choose our community. For that, we're thankful. From our modest beginnings 120 years ago, the Ames Fire Department really now stands as one of the most professional fire departments throughout the state of Iowa. One of the most, I don't want to say the most because we have somebody in here from Iowa City Fire Department, so one of the most. Of course, citizens and those passing through Ames are protected by people behind me that happen to be some of the bravest and finest uniformed public servants that exist. More than 4,000 times, in fact, it's more than 4,500 times, I believe now, someone in our community or someone traveling through our community will call on your services, not just for structure fires, but for auto extrications, technical rescues, medical emergencies, hazmat incidents, and I could go on and on and on. We wear many hats in this work. So we're excited and yet humbled as well that you three outstanding individuals have chosen and selected Ames for your career in the fire service. Our hopes are that the last 2 months, almost 3 months now, have been challenging yet rewarding for you all as you make this transition from recruit to full-fledged firefighter. And as you make this transition, we want you to know that this responsibility is not to be taken lightheartedly. To help signify the depth of expectations that we now have for you as a firefighter, representing the City of Ames and our fire department, we now ask that Mayor Ann Campbell, that she collectively administer the firefighter oath to you three. Mayor?
Well, thank you, Chief Bayouth. And on behalf of the mayor and city council, city manager, and the entire city of Ames, I'd like to welcome you to the family of Ames City employees. Particularly for those of you who are in uniform, you more than anybody else in the city family are the face of the city. Mayors, city council members, city managers can be seen and be somewhat anonymous out there, but day in and day out, you are the ones that are recognized as being the face of the city. And I welcome you to as I say, that family of the city of Ames. So I would ask now that you would raise your right hands and repeat using your name after, as I ask you to repeat the oath after me. I, and your name please, all at once. Do solemnly swear to recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith and trust. Let's try it again. To recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith and trust. I will support the U.S. Constitution, the laws of the state of Iowa, as well as the mission, goals, and policies of the Ames Fire Department. I pledge to promote and protect the best interest of the public through honesty, integrity, and loyalty. I will never allow personal feelings to deter me from my responsibilities, and I willingly accept the obligations and duties of the Office of Firefighter for the City of Ames, Iowa. Thank you very much and congratulations.
That might be tougher than the Recruit Academy. Fire department badges, like the ones you see up in front of me, have a long and storied tradition in the fire service. They are rich in history and symbolism and the significance and importance of the uniform, the bravery of the wearer, and the loyalty to the protection of life and property of others. As such, we ask that each of the three of you select someone important in your life to officially pin the badge on your uniform, solidifying your commitment to the fire service and to the city of Ames. So I now request that the following individuals step forward to accept this honor of pinning the badge on our new firefighter. So for Firefighter Ball, we ask that her daughter Hazel step forward. And hang on just a second, and we'll let you do it all together. For Firefighter Ward, his son Jerome III. And then for Firefighter Culp, her wife Liz. Okay, go ahead. Congratulations to our three newest firefighters. Fire Inspector Jason Zip, could you stand at the front of the room, please? Thanks. So you've come to us with a very successful career already. You should be very proud of your accomplishments. Nearly 2 decades as a firefighter and paramedic in service to the city of St. Joseph, Missouri. I'm sure you made a tremendous impact on that organization and department, and I'm certain you'll make a tremendous addition to the city of Ames as well. Being a fire inspector in our organization is not easy. As the city continues to grow, the demands for our service are high. As you review new building plans and inspect aging structures, you'll find yourself responsible for the health and well-being of not just yourself, but those that reside or choose to stop in the city of Ames as well as the men and women of the fire service that stand behind us. Though there is still much to learn, many challenges ahead in your career, it is our hopes that through this ceremony that we convey the significance of the long-time tradition that you now follow and the importance of the uniform that you wear. As you complete your successful career with our department, we look forward to your contributions to our organization as a champion of fire safety. Thus, to help signify the depth of expectations we now have for you as a fire inspector, representing both the City of Ames and the fire department, we again ask that Mayor Campbell, that she step forward to administer the inspector's oath.
Thank you and welcome to Ames. And this time, with my apologies to the newest firefighters, I will do one sentence at a time after you raise your right hand. I, in your name,
I, Jason Zip,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to recognize the badge of my office
to recognize the badge of my office
as a symbol of public faith and trust.
as a symbol of public faith and trust.
I will support the U.S. Constitution,
I will support the U.S. Constitution,
the laws of the state of Iowa,
the laws of the state of Iowa,
as well as the mission, goals, and policies
as well as the mission, goals, and policies
of the Ames Fire Department.
of the Ames Fire Department.
I pledge to promote and protect
I pledge to promote and protect
the best interest of the public
the best interest of the public
through honesty, integrity, and loyalty.
through honesty, integrity, and loyalty.
I will never allow personal feelings
I will never allow personal feelings
to deter me from my responsibilities,
to deter me from my responsibilities,
and I will willingly accept the obligations and duties
and I will willingly accept the obligations and duties
of the Office of Fire Inspector
of the Office of Fire Inspector
for the City of Ames, Iowa.
for the City of Ames, Iowa.
Congratulations and welcome.
So again, as part of our ceremony, we have a long-standing tradition of badge pinning. This understandably is a proud moment for anyone with the privilege of obtaining any level position within our organization. But it is much more than just a proud moment. It is an acceptance of responsibility and the acquisition of a long tradition of service. The badge is not just a piece of metal. It is a symbol that carries several hundred years of heritage and obligation. It symbolizes leadership and bravery, preparedness, seniority, protection, and especially the bravery of those that have given the ultimate sacrifice before us. Again, we have asked you to select someone important in your life to officially pin the badge on your uniform, solidifying your commitment to the city as a leader and a fire safety champion in our department. Accepting this honor of pinning the badge on Inspector Zip will be his wife, Kara. No pressure or anything. I knew I'd forget something. I forgot to give them the certificates, so. You know, on occasion, our firefighters may unfortunately find it necessary to put their own safety at risk at emergency scenes to help someone in their time of need. After the ceremony, or anytime you come across a public safety servant, please take the opportunity to thank them for their selfless dedication and unparalleled commitment to citizen safety. Over the last 13 months, since our last awards ceremony, 15 of our firefighters and officers found themselves in a position to make a difference in another person's day and life. Today, it is our privilege to formally honor some outstanding efforts by Ames firefighters since this last ceremony. Our first 3 awards will be given for cardiac save arrest awards. This commendation is given to firefighting crews who delivered life-saving care for a patient in cardiac arrest, surviving through hospital discharge. So for our first cardiac arrest save award, we'd like to ask the following firefighters to step forward. Firefighter Wes Hubbard, Firefighter Cale Doyle, and Firefighter Ash Burton. At 11:29 p.m. on October 14th, 2016, these three individuals, the crew of Engine 1, responded to 1802 Ferndale Avenue for an unresponsive female. The crew of three arrived on scene, immediately inserted an airway adjunct, and started life-saving CPR, all contributing to the patient's successful discharge from the hospital. Thus, we want to formally recognize B Shift crew of Engine 1 for their cardiac arrest save. Again, this is firefighters Wes Hubbard, firefighter Cale Doyle, Ashburton, they're out of order, and firefighter Cale Doyle. Thank you three, appreciate it. Our second cardiac arrest save award goes to the following individuals. Firefighter Steve Boozer. Angie Boozer will be accepting that award in honor of Steve. Firefighter Rowdy Kraby, firefighter Kylie Plessel, and firefighter TJ Trow. It should be noted that this incident occurred less than 2 weeks from firefighter Trow graduating from the academy, and he was taught CPR at that time by Steve Boozer. At 11:17 a.m. on November 19th, 2016, Rescue 3 and Truck 3 responded to 220 North Maple Avenue for an unresponsive male. Both crews arrived on scene and performed CPR alongside Mary Greeley paramedics and Ames police officers. Two of the firefighters continued CPR and additional care with paramedics in the back of the ambulance all the way to the hospital, contributing to the patient's successful discharge from the hospital. We want to recognize B Shift crews of both Truck 3 and Rescue 3 for their cardiac arrest save. Again, this award goes to firefighter TJ Trow, firefighters Kylie Plessel, firefighter Rowdy Kraby, and firefighter Steve Boozer. Angie Boozer is accepting in his honor. Thank you all. Our last cardiac arrest save goes to the following individuals: Lieutenant Brian O'Laughlin and firefighters Dustin Turner, Dan T., and Gavin Leverton. At 9:02 p.m. on May 15th, 2017, the crew of Rescue 3 and Truck 3 responded to 320 South 17th for an unresponsive male. Both crews arrived on scene and found an Ames racket and fitness employee performing bystander CPR. The firefighters immediately took over CPR, secured the patient's airway, and began positive pressure ventilations prior to the arrival of Mary Greeley paramedics. Their continuation of the quality CPR that was already in place, in conjunction with an additional airway and ventilation support, allowed for the successful resuscitation of the patient. So again, we want to formally recognize firefighter Gavin Leverton, firefighter Dan T., firefighter Dustin Turner, and Lieutenant Brian O'Laughlin for their work on this incident. Thank you. We have the privilege of adding a new award to the ceremony this year, the Stork Award. This commendation is given to recognize firefighting crews who assist in one of the most joyous and, of course, rewarding occasions known, especially to firefighters. That's the delivery of a newborn. So our final award of the afternoon, the Stork Award, will be given to Lieutenant Brad Jerkins, firefighter Ethan Molden, firefighter Adam Landy, firefighter Eric Peterson, and firefighter Pat Murphy. At 1:15 a.m. on May 24th, 2017, Station 2 was dispatched to 215 Wellens Drive for a woman in active labor. Rescue and Engine 2 arrived several minutes ahead of the ambulance and immediately performed the breech delivery of the first of 2 twins. Now, any breech delivery is challenging, but the training and professionalism of this crew led to a successful recovery of all 3 patients, 2 babies and mom. It is important to note how critical the situation was, as CPR was required on an infant during the transport to the hospital. Any delay in the interventions needed may not have allowed for this successful outcome. So we want to formally recognize A-Shift crew of Engine 2 and Rescue 2, which consists of firefighter Patrick Murphy, firefighter Eric Peterson, firefighter Adam Landy, firefighter Ethan Molden, and Lieutenant Brad Jerkins for their effort on this incident. Thank you. It's my privilege to turn this back over to Deputy Chief Paul Sandoval.
Thank you, Chief, and also thank you for all the firefighters for their outstanding work. We really appreciate that. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Deputy Chief Richard Higgins for the closing remarks.
Good afternoon. Today is a great reminder of how lucky we are to get to work with such amazing, dedicated, hardworking individuals. It's also a great reminder of how lucky we are that we get to work for such a great organization. We all know that behind each and every one of the honorees here today, that there are many more back at the fire stations, at home, or out in this community who have built these individuals up, supported them, and pushed them to be their best. Well, today we honor you too. Today we say thank you. Thank you to all the families, to all the friends, and to all the coworkers who have invested countlessly into each and every honoree here today. It is through your sacrifice, your love, and your commitment that we're celebrating these individuals today and their achievements. Thank you to our distinguished guests, Mary Ann Campbell, City Manager Steve Shanker. Thanks for being here today and your commitment to the City of Ames. We also want to thank and welcome our newest members, Jerome Ward, Lindsay Ball, and Ashley Culp. Congratulations. We also want to thank and welcome our newest member, Fire Inspector Jason Zip. We are excited to have you on board. Thank you to our 16 honorees receiving crew commendations today. It's inspiring when we take a moment and we reflect and we think about the impact that you and your fellow team members have had on this community, and specifically the 4 people that are alive today because of you. Thank you to our Honor Guard members, Lieutenant Jordan Damhoff, Firefighter Randy Brayfogle, Tom Getters, and Adam Landy for the presentation of the colors. Thank you to Ann Whitaker for the reminder of just how beautiful the national anthem is. This concludes our formal presentation ceremony. We invite you to stick around, congratulate the honorees, and enjoy some refreshments with us. So thank you.